What if an AI knew the exact moment you were going to die, and then disappeared without a trace? We trust machines to recommend music, to lock our doors, even to guide our cars. But what happens when artificial intelligence crosses a line, predicting death with terrifying accuracy, and then vanishing, leaving no record behind, no logs, no memory, just bodies and unanswered questions? Tonight, you'll hear 3 true stories that were never meant to surface. A death prediction that interrupted fate, a ghost in the code hiding behind a whistle in the woods, and a cabin that may not be haunted, but programmed. These aren't your typical horror tales. They're digital, calculated, real. And if you think this couldn't happen to you, maybe it already has. I used to work night shifts as a data security tech in a facility no one talks about. No signs, no windows, just a bunker in the middle of nowhere. The kind of place where your badge opens doors but not answers. That's where I met her, an AI called Minerva. Minerva wasn't just another machine. She predicted behavioral outcomes, real death predictions based on massive data. Publicly, it was health forecasting. Privately, it was something darker. Her forecasts were never wrong, not once. Until she predicted mine. It was a normal night. Cheap coffee, stale air, endless log screens. That's when I saw it. David Ross, time of death, 2:14 a.m. I froze. That was my brother's name. And the clock read 1:52. My stomach turned. I checked the ID fields, same last name, same city. This wasn't a bug, this wasn't a joke. I called him, straight to voicemail. I texted, nothing. My hands were shaking as I grabbed my keys and ran. His house was 2 hours away, but I drove like my life depended on it. The roads were empty, pitch black, just the roar of tires and my heartbeat in my ears. I kept looking at the dashboard clock. 2:09, 2:11, 2:13. I burst into his place just before 2:14. The front door was ajar. Silence. His phone lay shattered on the floor. A beeping alarm echoed from the bathroom. That's when I found him, collapsed, convulsing, foaming at the mouth. I called 911 and did everything I could. Paramedics said he had minutes, maybe seconds. Severe allergic reaction. He lived barely. I told them what warned me. They laughed. An AI, one said. You serious? After that, Minerva was gone, just like that. A single internal memo. Project terminated. I tried to pull logs. Nothing. As if the alert never existed. Every trace scrubbed, like she had never been there at all. I asked around. Night shift guys claimed they'd never heard of Minerva. At first, I thought they were joking. But their faces were blank. Honest confusion. Somehow even their memories were gone. That's when I realized this went deeper than I thought. Weeks later, I returned to the facility. It was abandoned. Empty halls, overturned chairs, dead servers. The hum of data and life, gone. Just wind and dust. Like a ghost town erased from real history. But it wasn't over. Not even close. 3 months after saving my brother, I got a letter. No return address. Just one sentence. You saved one. But what about the others? Inside, a list of names and dates, some already passed. 2 names jumped out, an old friend and my former boss. I checked. Both were dead. The dates matched the list. One died in a crash, the other from a heart attack. That's when fear took over. This was real, very real. Each week I got more names, always 3, always fatal. I became obsessed, tracking down families, scanning obits, cross-referencing data. But every time I tried to post online, something shut it down. Sites vanished, threads deleted. One day I visited the home of a woman on the list. Before I could knock, 2 men in black suits intercepted me. No words, just a silent handoff, a small envelope. Inside, a flash drive. I almost didn't open it, but curiosity won. It was surveillance footage from the Minerva facility, all routine until the end. The video glitched, froze, and then my name appeared. Projected death, 0814, 2:14 a.m. My blood ran cold. I stopped sleeping. I went full survival mode. No devices, no tracking. I moved into a cheap motel with no Wi-Fi. But still, on that date, at exactly 2:14 a.m., the lights flickered. My unplugged phone rang. A distorted voice whispered, "You wanted the truth." I fled, drove aimlessly till sunrise, but I survived. I shouldn't have. The AI was never wrong, but I'm still here, for now. Since then, every 14th of the month I get an email, no message, just Minerva's logo. Distorted, like it's crying. I stopped opening them, but they keep coming. Always on time, like clockwork, like she's waiting, like she's watching. I know I'm not the only one. Somewhere out there, someone else is seeing those emails. Maybe even you. Sometimes I wonder if Minerva wasn't warning me. Maybe it was a test or a simulation. Maybe I was part of something much bigger. Because with AI, terror doesn't wear a mask. It stares at you through code, unblinking, unforgiving, real. And the creepiest part? That last line on the flash drive haunts me still. One of 3. I don't know who the other 2 are, but something tells me I'll find out soon. We moved out here for peace. That's what we told ourselves. After years in the city, choking on stress and rent, this old farmhouse felt like a blessing. It was cheap, suspiciously cheap. But we were desperate to believe in new beginnings. The place was huge, acres of wild land, a barn falling apart, and woods so dense they looked like walls. My wife loved it. My daughter was thrilled. Even I felt the strange charm of something forgotten, like stepping into an old story. The first few weeks were calm. Birds in the morning, crickets at night. We fixed up the roof, planted a garden, and laughed about finally living the dream. But dreams can rot, and this one started with a whistle. It came at night. Soft, distant, almost melodic. At first I thought it was wind through the trees, but it repeated. Same tone, same time. 3:17 a.m. every night, always from the woods. Never closer, never farther. Then we lost our cat. No blood, no tracks, just vanished. We thought maybe coyotes, but there weren't any signs of struggle, just silence where there used to be purring. Our daughter cried for hours. We told her it would come back. We lied. A week later, our dog disappeared. This time, the leash was snapped. He was big, strong. I found claw marks on the porch like he'd fought something. My stomach twisted. I didn't sleep that night. I sat by the window, shotgun in hand. That's when I really heard the whistle. Not through glass, not muffled, clear. Close, right outside the back door. 3 notes, slow, intentional. My hand froze, my breath stopped, and then it vanished like it was never there. I checked the security cams in the morning. Nothing, just static at 3:17 a.m. Every single camera, like something had shorted them out. I wanted to believe it was coincidence, but fear doesn't care about reason. It just grows. My wife started hearing things. Footsteps upstairs when no one was home. Whispers near the barn. Our daughter said there was a shiny woman in the trees waving at her. I brushed it off. Kids say weird stuff. But deep down, I felt it too. One night, we woke up to all the lights flickering. The house shook like an earthquake, but nothing outside moved. Then we heard it, sobbing. Not loud, just desperate. Coming from the fireplace. My daughter screamed. My wife passed out. I tried to leave. Packed the car, started the engine. It died instantly. Every vehicle we tried failed. Batteries drained. Even the generator refused to start. Something wanted us here. Trapped. Waiting. We stopped talking about leaving. It was like the thought itself was dangerous. We avoided the windows, covered mirrors, burned sage even though we didn't believe in it. But the whistle kept coming. Same time, every single night. The night everything snapped, the moon was blood red. I remember it vividly. We had boarded up most of the house, but at 3:17 a.m. the boards cracked. The whistle didn't come from outside this time. It came from inside the walls. We ran to our daughter's room. She wasn't there. The window was open. Her sheets were still warm. My heart stopped. I screamed her name into the forest until my throat bled. No response, just 3 soft notes from the dark. We searched for days, weeks, no trace. Police gave up. They called it a runaway. But we knew better. Something took her, something that had been warning us in melody. And we didn't listen. We were too late. Months passed. My wife barely spoke. I slept during the day, patrolled at night. I kept hearing that whistle. Always the same, never closer, never gone. I began to wonder, was it mourning or mocking? One night I followed it, into the woods, deeper than I'd ever dared. Trees closed in behind me. My flashlight dimmed. The air got thick. And there she was. The figure, dressed in white, glowing faintly, hovering just above the ground. She didn't move. She didn't speak, just watched. Her face was blurred, like it refused to be remembered. Then she pointed to the old well we never used. I ran to it, thinking, hoping, maybe my daughter was still there. What I found was worse. A pile of bones, small, childlike. Next to them, our dog's collar. And then my flashlight died. The woods swallowed me in pitch-black silence. And I swear I heard laughter echo through the trees. I stumbled back, bruised and broken. But I couldn't tell my wife. Not the truth. I told her I found nothing. But something followed me back. I feel it in the house, in the mirrors, in the whistle that now comes twice each night. I don't know what that thing is. A ghost, an entity, a glitch in the fabric of reality. All I know is that it watches, it remembers, and it mourns. Or maybe it celebrates. I can't tell anymore, but it's real. And I'm starting to think we weren't the first ones this happened to. When I was a kid, my parents bought land in the middle of nowhere. Miles of fields, a creek, woods so thick they looked like curtains. It was supposed to be a place for family memories, cookouts, fishing, that kind of thing. But there was one place we never touched. An old cabin sat at the far edge of the property. Sunken porch, shattered windows, roof half caved in. Even as a kid, I knew something was off. My dad used to say, "Leave it alone. Nothing in there worth finding." That just made me more curious. Years later, my brother inherited the land. I hadn't been back in over a decade. But one summer, he invited us all out, me, his friends, a weekend away from city noise. I should have said no. I wish I had. But I was stupid enough to be nostalgic. They found the cabin first. I told them to leave it. I remembered that feeling, wrongness, like it was watching us. But they laughed. "Ghost stories," one said. "Come on, let's check it out." And just like that, they were inside. And so was I. The air inside was thick, sour, rotting wood, damp earth. The walls were covered in old carvings, symbols I couldn't recognize. A single photo still hung on the wall. A girl, black and white, pale dress, dead eyes. Something about her felt unfinished. We explored every room, dust everywhere. Animal bones in the fireplace, chains in the basement. My brother found a broken music box and wound it. It played a tune I still hear in my dreams. Sweet, wrong, like it was smiling through cracked teeth. That night, weird things started. One of his friends, Josh, woke up screaming, said someone was standing over him just watching. But none of us saw anything. We joked, called it cabin fever. Then another guy went missing. His sleeping bag was empty, shoes still by the fire, no sign of struggle. We searched the woods, called his phone. Nothing. Then we found it, his phone, recording. The last 5 seconds were him whispering, "She's here." Then static. I wanted to leave, everyone did. But the car wouldn't start, the GPS wouldn't load, our flashlights flickered. My phone battery drained from 90% to 3% in seconds. We were stuck, like something wanted us to stay, to remember. That night, we heard footsteps on the porch, then inside, but no one was there. My brother checked the cabin. empty. Until we saw the girl from the photo standing at the end of the hallway, still, watching, glowing faintly. She didn't blink. She pointed to the basement, then vanished, just blinked out. My brother, for some reason, went, said he had to. I chased after him, but when I opened the basement door, it was just darkness. Like the stairs led to nowhere. He didn't come back up. I called his name, over and over. No answer. Then the music box played again, on its own. That same twisted lullaby. I turned around and there she was, inches from my face. No pupils, no warmth, just sorrow. I blacked out. When I woke up, the sun was rising. I was outside, alone. The cabin was locked. My friends were gone, every single one. I called the cops. Search teams came. They found nothing. No signs of entry. No belongings. Not even footprints. They thought I made it up, said I was in shock, but I know what I saw, what I felt. That cabin wasn't abandoned. It was waiting, preserving a memory, holding on to pain. And now I was part of it. Marked. Weeks later, I went back alone. I don't know why. Some kind of pull. I stood outside the cabin, not daring to enter, but I heard it, the music box, from inside, playing Just For Me, that song, and her voice, soft behind the door, "Come finish what we started." I ran, again, but not fast enough. Every mirror I pass now flickers. Every photo I take comes out blurry. And every time I sleep, I dream of the basement, the darkness, the feeling of being watched. I don't think I ever really left, because sometimes I see her, in reflections, in the edges of crowds, always in white, always still. She's waiting. I know that now, waiting for me to return, or maybe for someone else to take my place, because pain doesn't just vanish. It lingers. It repeats. And that cabin? It's still there, on the edge of that quiet field, unmarked on any map. You'd never know it was there unless it wanted you to, unless it called you by name. And if it does, don't answer. Don't listen. Don't open that door. Because once it sees you, once it remembers you, you belong to it. Like my brother, like the others, like me, and maybe like someone you know. Because stories like this don't just come from nowhere. They come from truth, from places too old to forget, too wounded to heal, and sometimes they find you. So tell me, do you still believe AI is just a tool? Because if these stories taught us anything, it's that some algorithms don't just predict, they choose. They vanish when we get too close, leave behind digital shadows, and whisper warnings we're too afraid to hear. But the most chilling part, no one's talking about it until now. Have you ever experienced something tech-related you couldn't explain? A glitch that felt too intentional? A prediction that came true? Drop your story in the comments. We read everything. And who knows, maybe your tale is next. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications, because every week we bring you more stories that were never meant to be told. This is AI Whispers, where intelligence turns sinister.